For 15 years, useful proof of work has been crypto's most seductive promise, and its most broken one. Make the mining do something real, they said. And every time, the same wall, useful work is hard to verify, and work nobody can check isn't proof, it's a promise. Well, somebody walked into that wall and came out the other side. On TensorCash, mining is running a large language model, and the network actually checks that you ran it. The right model, the right weights, every block. Their own line for it, TensorCash turns useful AI work into open money. I read the white papers, the spec, the mining guides, and I came out impressed. Let's trace it. The design is elegantly conservative. Take Bitcoin Core, keep everything that works, the blocks, the wallets, the lottery, and swap exactly one part. The hash function becomes an inference run. Your GPU loads an open weights model on mainnet that's Qwen38b and generates tokens. And I mean that model, pinned by consensus down to the exact revision. Their docs explain why. Approval is per revision, so an unpinned name can drift to a build the chain hasn't approved. That precision is the whole trick. And the philosophy is good writing. AI without verification is a colleague without a face. You never know if the same mind showed up today. Here's the idea I find beautiful, and it's in the spec, not the marketing. One proof window is 256 generated tokens, so your mining rate is your tokens per second divided by 256. Your hash rate is your throughput. And look what that does to the nonce. A Bitcoin miner flips a nonce billions of times a second. Here, the nonce is derived from the work itself, hashed together with the block header, a verifiable delay function, and the tokens you produced. There's no search space to grind. You don't hunt for a lucky number, you earn tickets, and every ticket is one full run of an 8 billion parameter model. So how do you verify an AI ran correctly, cheaply enough to do it every block? With a ladder of 3, and it's the most thought-through part of this project. Quick, pure cryptography, no model, fails in milliseconds. Smell. Cheap statistics on the numbers you submitted, the frequency of rare tokens, the spread across the top 50 candidates, and full, when it matters, a verifier loads the same model on a GPU, reruns your work, and puts the result through a 74-dimensional Mahalanobis test against a distribution bootstrapped from 15,000 samples. They even inject controlled noise, so honest miners on different GPUs still pass. Green, amber, red. That's a lab bench, not hand-waving. And in July, that machinery bit someone in public. A miner ran the pinned model at reduced precision, FP8, to squeeze out more tokens per second and therefore more tickets. The network reran the blocks and measured how far each predicted token had drifted. On the first block, 173 of 256 steps came back statistically impossible, the worst off by 110,888 rank positions. Both blocks, red, zero work. Then the team published the whole autopsy with the maths on their own blog. How many projects published the day their system got attacked? That post did more for my confidence than any roadmap. That detection has a concrete consequence. If shrinking the model gets caught, full precision is the rule, and the weights need about 16 gigabytes of video memory before a single token of context. So the entry ticket is a 24 gigabyte card, a 3090, a 4090, a 5090. Pools on this chain say it plainly, 24 gigabytes per worker, Ampere or newer. And here's why that's good news. There is no ASIC coming for this coin. Nobody is going to build a warehouse of custom chips that makes your card worthless overnight, because the best machine for this job is a GPU you can buy at retail. Now, if you come from classic mining, 3 reflexes need updating. 1. You don't pool small cards into one big virtual GPU, because splitting a model needs gigabytes per second and microsecond latency. That's a bus inside one machine, not a network. 2. There's no search space to split between workers, because the nonce comes out of the work, so classic strata mining doesn't apply here at all. 3. You can't bring a smarter model. The proof commits to the exact numbers of the pinned build. So this chain doesn't reward a better answer. It rewards proof that this exact computation happened. Money. Rewards started at 715 coins and stepped down by epoch, and here's a detail I haven't seen mentioned anywhere: it isn't a halving. Each step multiplies by 0.6. 715, 429, 257, 154, and as I record, 92.66 coins per block at height 20,276. Supply is capped just above 21 million, a deliberate nod to you know what. And the distribution. No token sale, no pre-sale, no ICO, no insider allocation, no buy link. Their words, the project is not selling TSC. Every coin in existence came out of somebody's GPU. And here's the number that made me sit up. Every block header carries the network's expected throughput, the total tokens per second the whole chain is producing. At Genesis, on the 1st of June this year, it was 300 tokens a second, basically one machine. 2 weeks ago it crossed 2 million. When I pulled the tip for this video, 7.7 million tokens per second multiplied by 3.7 in a single day. That's real hardware arriving, fast. And remember what that Genesis date means. This chain is 8 weeks old. Whatever it becomes, we're watching it in week 8. Every decentralized AI project meets the same question: who buys the inference? Home GPUs mean smaller models, and smaller models compete against giants served at prices that round to nothing. Nobody in this sector has fully solved that, and TensorCash doesn't pretend to. But their answer is the most practical I've seen: make the proof cost nothing extra. Their sampler computes the proof during generation, so, quoting the docs, producing the answer, and producing the proof are one pass, not two. An operator serving real users mines with the same hardware at the same moment. That's not a slogan, that's an architecture. One honest caveat though, and it's about today rather than forever, right now, there is no paying customer behind this. Most of that inference is synthetic backfill, prompts the miner writes for itself to keep making blocks. The engine is built. The demand is the half that's missing. And then the thing that earned my trust. A verifiable proof has to be readable. That's what verifiable means. So token sequences sit in the open and can often be read back as text. Most projects would spray the words, zero knowledge over that, and move on. Instead, the white paper writes it down. Zero knowledge proofs for large models add 10 to 1,000 times the compute and stay infeasible for many. Secure enclaves. An invited future path. Explicitly not shipped in version 1. On reproducibility, the site simply says, it's open research. People who write down the limits of their own design are building for the long game. Let's be precise about the stage. The project speaks in the plural, a team, under a declared pseudonym, a tribute to Satoshi. What's publicly visible is more concentrated. 91 commits on the umbrella repository, the large majority under one account. Not a contradiction. Plenty of small teams push through a single maintainer, but the public history rests on few shoulders for now. 4 stars on that repo. The founding white paper is dated the 1st of April and opens with a parable written by ChatGPT. The mining docs never state a fee. Now the other side, 9 releases in 15 days, 12 commits last week, and July's first on-chain trade of Compute, their tokenized difficulty option. Whoever is behind this is shipping hard. Start on testnet, like the guide says. Verdict. TensorCash is the most convincing, useful proof of work I've examined. The work is a real model run. The check is a real replay with real statistics, and when someone cheated, the chain caught it and published the autopsy. No pre-sale, no insider allocation, no ASIC threat, and a team that documents its own open problems. What it doesn't have yet is a market, no listing, no price. So be clear about what you're doing. Point a 24 gigabyte card at this chain today, and you're mining early on a fair launch network, betting that something this well-built gets discovered. It's the most interesting thing I've found this year that almost nobody is talking about. Sources are in the free Discord, link below. This was Trace.